Hello, friends. If you're curious about the movie Despicable Me 4, 2024, you're in the perfect place. Don't forget to give this video a quick like, it really helps us out. And if you're new here, hit subscribe to stay updated on all the latest movie deep dives. Let's jump right in. In 2024, the lovable and mischievous Gru returns in the much-anticipated continuation of the Despicable Me franchise, Despicable Me 4. The movie brings back all the things we adore about the series. The unforgettable minions, Gru's hilarious antics, and a whole lot of heart. With new challenges, fresh twists, and a few surprises in store, this latest chapter promises to be just as thrilling and entertaining as its predecessors. From the very beginning, Despicable Me 4 wastes no time in drawing you back into the chaotic, colorful world we know and love. Gru, now fully embracing his role as a father, has found a balance between his mischievous villainous past and his responsibility as a loving parent to his three girls, Margot, Edith, and Agnes. However, this time, Gru finds himself confronting a new adversary, and this threat is different from the usual bad guys he's used to facing. The movie opens with Gru, now a successful family man, living a relatively quiet life. But as we know from previous Despicable Me films, things are never peaceful for long when it comes to Gru. He's quickly pulled back into the world of villainy when an unexpected new enemy emerges, a mysterious figure who seems to know all of Gru's past secrets and has a personal vendetta against him. The villain's plan is intricate, and the stakes have never been higher. As the plot unfolds, Gru's life is upended when this new adversary threatens everything he holds dear, including his family and the stability of the life he's worked so hard to build. This time, the tension feels more personal as Gru is forced to confront not just the threat to his career, but also the deep-rooted fears he has about his own abilities as a father and protector. The emotional stakes are high, as Gru is faced with questions about his identity. Can a former villain really change his ways, or will his past always catch up with him? While Gru's serious side is showcased throughout the movie, it's the minions who steal the show once again with their trademark antics, slapstick comedy, and heartwarming loyalty to Gru. In Despicable Me 4, the minions have their own subplots that add plenty of laughs to the otherwise action-packed and emotionally charged film. Whether they're getting into hilarious mischief or helping Gru through some of his most difficult moments, their presence ensures that the fun never stops. There are several key twists that will keep viewers on the edge of their seats. One of the biggest surprises in the film is the revelation about the true motives behind Gru's mysterious new enemy. This adversary turns out to have a shocking connection to Gru's past, which no one, including Gru himself, saw coming. The ties to his old villainous life add a layer of complexity to the plot, as Gru must face not just an external threat but also the ghosts of his former life. One of the emotional turning points in Despicable Me 4 involves Gru's relationship with his daughters. As his family becomes entangled in the dangerous plot orchestrated by his new enemy, Gru is forced to evaluate what really matters to him. The theme of family, redemption, and the challenge of breaking free from one's past is explored in a deeper, more meaningful way than ever before. It's a film about growth and the power of love, perfect for audiences of all ages. As for the minions, they're not just sidekicks this time around. They play pivotal roles in helping Gru navigate through some tricky situations, and their comedic timing never disappoints. The minions continue to evolve, and their connection with Gru has never felt more heartfelt. It's their loyal friendship that pushes Gru to dig deeper into his own strengths and find the courage to fight for the people he loves. Of course, it wouldn't be a Despicable Me movie without some wild, out-of-this-world action sequences. From heart-pounding chases to inventive gadgets and explosive set-pieces, Despicable Me 4 ramps up the stakes with some of the most thrilling action we've seen in the series. Expect plenty of laugh-out-loud moments combined with pulse-pounding excitement as Gru and the minions battle against time to foil their enemies' plans. One of the key emotional arcs in the film involves Gru's relationship with his daughters. As they get older, the dynamics of their family evolve. Margot, Edith, and Agnes are all dealing with their own personal challenges, from growing up to figuring out who they are and how they fit into Gru's world. Despicable Me 4 brings a fresh perspective on parenting, as Gru must balance his personal desires with the responsibilities of fatherhood, all while keeping his family safe from this new threat. Another twist involves a dramatic shift in the character of Gru himself. Over the course of the film, we see him grapple with his own insecurities and doubts. He questions whether his past will forever haunt him or if he can truly start fresh as a dad and as a person. These moments of vulnerability make Gru more relatable and endearing, and they add depth to what could have been just another typical action comedy film. The climax of Despicable Me 4 is nothing short of spectacular. After a series of escalating events, Gru and his daughters, along with the help of the minions, face off against the villain in an epic showdown that will leave audiences breathless. The final moments are packed with surprises, and the resolution delivers an emotional payoff that ties up the movie's themes of redemption, family, and the enduring power of love. So, what's next for Gru and the minions? Well, while the ending offers a sense of closure to this particular story, there are enough loose threads and possibilities left to suggest that the Despicable Me universe could continue expanding. Despicable Me 4 promises to leave viewers with a smile on their faces and a sense of fulfillment, but the future of Gru's world is wide open for more adventures, laughs, and heartwarming moments. In Despicable Me 4, we see Gru at his best, funny, brave, and deeply connected to his family. And while the movie is filled with the humor and action that fans have come to expect, it's also a heartfelt story of a man confronting his past, embracing his future, and rediscovering the importance of family. As always, the Minions provide their own brand of chaotic comedy, ensuring that the laughs never stop. With its clever twists, emotional depth, and vibrant animation, Despicable Me 4 is shaping up to be a must-see for fans of all ages. Stay tuned as we dive deeper into the themes, characters, and moments that make Despicable Me 4 a standout entry in the beloved franchise in our upcoming video. Until then, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our full breakdown of this incredible movie. The sun shines brightly over the bustling, chaotic world of Gru's family, where the balance between villainous pasts and loving parenthood has been delicately struck. Despicable Me 4 opens with Gru enjoying a peaceful and somewhat quieter life than fans may have expected. His days as a supervillain seem to be behind him, with Gru now fully dedicated to raising his 3 daughters, Margot, Edith, and Agnes. He revels in his role as a father, navigating the ups and downs of parenthood while also finding joy in the small moments of life. One day, the quiet is interrupted when a mysterious new villain enters the scene. This is no ordinary adversary. Unlike previous antagonists, who were typically after riches or power, this new villain has a very personal agenda, one that links back to Gru's past. It's someone who knows all too well about Gru's previous exploits as a villain, and they seem to be targeting him specifically. Gru is suddenly thrust back into the world of danger and intrigue, finding himself faced with a new set of challenges that threaten not only his own future but the safety of his family. As the new villain's presence looms over Gru, it becomes apparent that this figure has been orchestrating a plot for some time. Unbeknownst to Gru, his old life as a villain has left a trail of consequences that has now caught up with him. Gru is forced to confront the consequences of his actions from years ago. His past deeds are now haunting him in ways he never imagined. But this new villain isn't just out to ruin Gru. They have a deeper and much more personal motive that will eventually come to light, making the threat feel even more dire. The movie takes an exciting turn when Gru's family becomes entangled in this new crisis. As the tension rises, Gru is pulled out of his comfortable life and forced to rely on his old skills. However, his villainous tendencies are in stark contrast with the father figure he has grown into, and the juxtaposition of these two aspects of his character creates a compelling internal conflict. Gru, once the master of chaos and villainy, must now navigate his new role as a protector of his family. His struggle between his past and present self is palpable and sets the tone for the film. As the new antagonist's plan begins to unfold, Gru finds himself in a race against time. His enemies are clever, calculating, and relentless, and the stakes are raised higher as each new development pushes Gru further into the heart of a conspiracy he doesn't fully understand. The villain's motives remain hidden, and it's clear that there's much more at play than just an ordinary scheme to take down a former villain. This creates a sense of mystery, and viewers are kept on the edge of their seats, eager to learn the true depth of the threat and the connection it has to Gru's past. To further complicate matters, Gru's daughters start to get involved in the action. While they are still young, Margot, Edith, and Agnes have grown over the years, and they each begin to step up in their own unique ways. As their father is pulled deeper into this new world of danger, the girls find themselves grappling with their own challenges. Margot, the eldest, is becoming more independent, questioning her place in the family and how she can contribute to helping her father. Edith, ever the tomboy, is quick to jump into action, taking risks when others hesitate. Agnes, with her endearing charm, becomes a source of emotional strength, reminding Gru of what's truly important, his love for his family. The minions, too, are as lovable and indispensable as ever. They provide a steady stream of comedic relief, offering levity during the film's more intense moments. However, they're not merely comic relief. The minions also have their own role to play in the unfolding events. As Gru's trusted sidekicks, they are key to helping him navigate the increasingly dangerous situations he faces. Their loyalty to Gru and their determination to help their master is heartwarming, and their antics, while hilarious, also showcase their deep affection for the family they've come to love. But as the plot thickens, the true scope of the threat becomes more clear. The villain's plan is much larger than anyone could have anticipated, and the stakes are higher than ever. At the center of it all is a shocking revelation. Gru's mysterious enemy shares a connection to his past that no one could have predicted. This revelation sends shockwaves through Gru's life, forcing him to reckon with his previous choices and the long-lasting impact they've had on those around him. As secrets are revealed and allegiances shift, Gru must confront not only his enemy but his own inner demons. The first half of the movie is full of twists, turns, and unexpected developments. There are moments of genuine suspense, as the characters are forced to deal with the emotional and physical ramifications of their past decisions. The tone shifts from light-hearted humor to high-stakes action, with Gru and his family caught in the middle of a complex conspiracy. The family dynamic becomes more important than ever, and the movie does a brilliant job of balancing moments of comedy with emotional depth. The minions, with their characteristic charm, provide much-needed moments of levity, but they also show their loyalty to Gru in ways that are both touching and humorous. The tension escalates when Gru realizes that his past is not just a collection of past mistakes, it's now something that actively threatens the life he's built. As his family's safety becomes more precarious, Gru is forced to make difficult decisions. He must rely on his resourcefulness and his knowledge of his old life as a villain to outsmart the new enemy. However, doing so forces him to confront aspects of himself he'd rather leave behind. The emotional weight of these decisions is felt throughout the film, particularly as Gru is torn between his duty as a father and his past identity as a villain. The first part of Despicable Me 4 is filled with high-octane action sequences, cleverly designed gadgets, and unexpected alliances. As the family rallies together to protect each other, their growth and development are evident. Gru's journey from villain to loving father is put to the test, and his evolution is both heartwarming and inspiring. Meanwhile, the minions provide their usual brand of chaos and joy, ensuring that there's never a dull moment. The way the film weaves humor and action together keeps the story engaging, while the underlying emotional stakes add depth to the narrative. Through all the twists and turns, one thing is clear: Gru's family is his greatest strength. As the danger continues to mount, Gru's bond with his daughters and the minions only grows stronger, proving that, no matter the challenge, love and loyalty will always come first. The first half of the movie sets up what promises to be an even more thrilling and emotional second half, leaving audiences eagerly awaiting the next chapter of Gru's adventure with the tension high and the stakes raised. Despicable Me 4 has established itself as a thrilling, heartwarming continuation of the beloved franchise. The plot unfolds with precision, keeping viewers engaged with its mix of action, mystery, and heartfelt moments. Gru's personal struggles and growth are at the forefront of the narrative, and the film cleverly builds up to the twists and surprises that are yet to come. The first half leaves fans craving more, setting the stage for a dramatic and exciting continuation of Gru's journey. The tension continues to build as Despicable Me 4 hurtles toward its thrilling conclusion. Gru's world has been turned upside down, and the stakes are higher than ever as his mysterious new enemy tightens their grip on everything he holds dear. Gru, once a feared villain, must now confront the full scope of the threat, relying not only on his cunning but also on his ability to protect the family he loves. As the danger escalates, his connection with his daughters becomes even more pivotal, and it's clear that their collective bond will be the key to overcoming this challenge. The villain's plot is slowly unraveled, and the first major revelation occurs when Gru finally learns the true identity of his adversary. The villain isn't a new character at all. Rather, they're someone from Gru's past, someone who he never imagined would return to haunt him. This individual, it turns out, was once an ally of Gru's from his darker days as a supervillain. Years ago, they were partners in crime, but a betrayal caused them to part ways, and their deep-seated resentment has been festering ever since. This revelation hits Gru hard. The person he thought he had outsmarted and left behind has been plotting his downfall in the shadows all along. The personal nature of this conflict adds a new layer of intensity, as Gru must not only face the threat to his family but also reckon with the betrayal and emotional scars of his past. As the full extent of the villain's plan becomes clear, Gru is left scrambling to protect his family from the escalating danger. The new enemy has orchestrated a web of events designed to bring Gru down, and each twist in the plot puts Gru and his family deeper into peril. In a high-stakes chase, Gru and the minions race against time to thwart the villain's ultimate scheme, which involves a powerful device capable of changing the course of history. The villain, now revealed to be someone Gru once considered a friend, wants to use this device to erase Gru's entire legacy, eliminating everything Gru has worked for in his quest for redemption. As Gru struggles to stay ahead of his enemy, his relationship with his daughters becomes even more important. Margot, Edith, and Agnes find themselves in the thick of the action, their roles growing larger as the movie unfolds. They're no longer passive observers of Gru's world, they are active participants in the fight against this new threat. Margot, always the level-headed one, begins to step into a leadership role, organizing their efforts and helping to outsmart the villain at key moments. Edith's impulsiveness becomes an asset as she throws herself into the heart of the action, taking risks to help her father and sisters. And Agnes, with her youthful optimism, reminds them all of what they're fighting for: family, love, and the bonds that hold them together. The minions, of course, remain at Gru's side, as loyal and hilarious as ever. Their slapstick antics bring humor to even the most intense moments, but they also prove themselves time and again as crucial allies in the battle against the villain. Whether they're building gadgets to outwit the enemy or creating chaos to provide a distraction, the minions bring both heart and hilarity to the story. Their deep affection for Gru is clear, and they show that they will stop at nothing to help their beloved boss. But it's not just the minions and Gru's family who help to turn the tide. The villain, despite their grand plan, begins to underestimate the strength of Gru's relationships. As Gru faces his past and the villain's attempts to erase his legacy, he realizes that the key to defeating the villain isn't just about using his old tricks. It's about embracing who he has become: a father, a protector, and a man who has changed for the better. His true strength lies not in his ability to outsmart the villain through deception or violence, but in his ability to connect with his family and work together with them to overcome the odds. The movie reaches a dramatic high point when Gru and his daughters confront the villain in an epic showdown. The action is fast-paced, filled with clever gadgets, thrilling chase sequences, and explosive confrontations. It's clear that the villain's scheme is on the verge of succeeding, and the tension is palpable as the family races against time to stop the device from activating. The stakes are raised to their highest point yet, and it looks like all hope is lost. But just when it seems that victory is out of reach, the love and unity of Gru's family prove to be their greatest weapon. In the final moments of the movie, Gru's family comes together in a heart-stopping, last-ditch effort to defeat the villain. The minions play a critical role, using their quirky ingenuity to sabotage the villain's plans in the nick of time. Gru, drawing on the lessons he's learned from his past mistakes, finally faces the villain head-on, putting aside his old persona as a supervillain and instead relying on the love he has for his family to guide him. The emotional climax of the film is powerful, as Gru shows that even though his past was filled with misdeeds, his present is defined by the love and loyalty he has for those closest to him. The resolution is both satisfying and heartfelt. The villain, defeated and outsmarted by Gru and his family, retreats in defeat. However, rather than leaving a trail of destruction in their wake, the conclusion offers a sense of closure. Gru and his daughters reflect on the journey they've been through together, realizing that their love for one another is their greatest strength. The minions, as always, continue to bring their charm and humor to the ending, ensuring that the film closes on a high note. In the aftermath, Gru's past is no longer something to fear. The resolution doesn't just see the defeat of the villain, it sees Gru fully embracing his new life. No longer defined by his villainous past, Gru is now truly a family man, someone who has found redemption not through the villainy he once embraced but through the love and connection he shares with his daughters and the minions. The story ends with a sense of triumph, not just over the villain, but over the past that Gru has left behind. He's proven that the bonds of family can overcome even the darkest of histories. As the credits roll, the audience is left with a deep sense of satisfaction. Gru's journey of redemption, self-discovery, and fatherhood has come full circle. The story not only celebrates the hilarity and fun that fans expect from the Despicable Me franchise, but also adds a layer of emotional depth that makes the film resonate long after the final scene. The message is clear. No matter the challenges, family is the key to everything, and love will always be the greatest power. Despicable Me 4 has delivered a heartwarming and thrilling conclusion to a story that has captivated audiences for years. With its combination of high-stakes action, clever humor, and emotional depth, the film offers a satisfying conclusion while leaving fans eager to see what lies ahead for Gru, his family, and, of course, the ever-charming minions. The movie's resolution, filled with triumph and love, ensures that Gru's journey is one worth remembering, and one that will continue to touch the hearts of audiences everywhere. Gru, the once feared supervillain, has evolved significantly since his first appearance in Despicable Me over a decade ago. In Despicable Me 4, we see a Gru who has embraced fatherhood and redemption, moving far from the villainous ways that defined his earlier life. However, his character arc isn't without complexity. He is a man of contrasts, still possessing the cleverness and sharp wit that made him a successful villain, yet now tempered by his love for his daughters and his desire to protect them. Gru's development throughout the movie is a testament to his personal growth and the way he has transformed from a villain into a father who values love, loyalty, and family above all else. As the villainous threat becomes more intense, Gru is forced to confront his past in ways he never anticipated. The revelation that an old ally turned foe is targeting him doesn't just challenge his physical ability to protect his family, it challenges who he has become. Gru must reconcile the decisions he made in his former life with the man he is now. His self-doubt creeps in, especially when he's faced with a situation where his old skills as a villain are required to defeat his adversary. His battle is not just against the villain but against his own past, a past he has worked so hard to move beyond. It's this emotional weight that makes Gru such a compelling character. While he's still capable of pulling off clever tricks and outsmarting his enemies, there's a deeper vulnerability to him now. His love for his daughters, Margot, Edith, and Agnes, is what ultimately drives him to succeed. In the end, Gru's journey isn't just about stopping a villain. It's about protecting the family he holds dear and ensuring they are safe from the fallout of his former life. Margot, the eldest daughter, is another central character in Despicable Me 4. As she's grown older, Margot has become more independent, showing a maturity and responsibility that reflect her role as the big sister. However, Margot's journey in the film is not just about taking care of her younger sisters. It's about finding her own place in the family dynamic. In this installment, she's forced to step up and help Gru in ways that show her growth not only as a daughter but also as an individual. While still dealing with the normal struggles of adolescence, Margot's loyalty to her family never wavers. She's the level-headed one, often taking charge when things become too chaotic. Her intelligence and problem-solving skills are key in helping Gru navigate the increasingly perilous situations that arise. As much as she tries to take control of her own life, she remains deeply tied to her family, understanding that their bond is what truly defines her. Margot's strength isn't just physical, it's emotional. Throughout the movie, she grapples with the idea of being the adult in the family. She often takes on the burden of responsibility, trying to keep everything together when things start to fall apart. Her relationship with Gru, as both a father and a mentor, is tested, but in the end, it strengthens. Margot's character arc in Despicable Me 4 revolves around her embracing her own identity while still remaining fiercely loyal to the family that has always been her anchor. The film shows that Margot's role as the oldest sister doesn't just make her a caretaker. It makes her an essential part of the family's success in overcoming the challenges they face. Edith, the middle child, is often the most unpredictable and spontaneous of the trio. She's brave, bold, and unafraid to dive headfirst into any situation, regardless of the risks involved. While her impulsive nature can sometimes get her into trouble, it also makes her a valuable asset in moments when quick thinking and decisive action are needed. In Despicable Me 4, Edith's character shines through her courage and determination. She's the one who jumps into action without hesitation, often saving the day in the most unexpected ways. Her fearless attitude and no-nonsense approach to problems provide much-needed energy and intensity to the film's action sequences. However, Edith's character is also more than just her adventurous spirit. As the film progresses, we see moments of vulnerability where she grapples with her place in the family. As the middle child, Edith often feels caught between the older and younger siblings, unsure of where she fits in. But as the danger intensifies, Edith proves that she has just as much to offer as anyone else. Her bravery and quick thinking allow her to make an impact when it matters most. Ultimately, Edith's arc is about realizing that her unique qualities are not just valuable, they're vital to the success of her family. Her transformation in the film is a reminder that courage isn't about being fearless but about doing what's right even when the odds are stacked against you. Agnes, the youngest daughter, remains the heart and soul of the family. While she may still be the innocent and sweet child, her character in Despicable Me 4 is more than just a source of comedic relief. Agnes brings a sense of wonder and joy to the film, reminding her father and sisters of the importance of love, laughter, and light-heartedness. She has grown, but her childlike innocence continues to shine through. Agnes's emotional intelligence is key in several moments throughout the film, as she helps the family stay grounded during their most trying times. Her belief in the goodness of her father, even when he's uncertain about himself, is heartwarming and serves as a reminder of the unconditional love that exists within families. While Agnes may not have the same level of involvement in the action sequences as Margot or Edith, her presence is felt throughout the film. She provides the emotional core that ties everything together. Agnes's optimism and unwavering belief in her father's ability to save the day give the family hope when things seem bleak. In many ways, Agnes is the emotional glue that keeps the family united, especially when the villain's plan starts to unravel everything they've worked for. Her innocence and sincerity remind everyone around her that, at the end of the day, love and family are the most important things of all. The Minions, as always, are an integral part of the Despicable Me franchise. These little yellow creatures are known for their slapstick humor and lovable personalities, and Despicable Me 4 is no exception. The Minions' antics provide much-needed comic relief throughout the movie, especially during moments of intense action or emotional upheaval. But beneath the laughter, the Minions also show their loyalty and deep affection for Gru. They're not just there to cause chaos, they're there to help their master and family in any way they can. Whether they're building gadgets, causing distractions, or simply offering moral support, the Minions are always there for Gru, proving that their bond goes far beyond just comedic value. Through their unflagging loyalty and humorous antics, the Minions help to reinforce one of the film's key themes: family. Despite their small size and mischievous nature, the Minions show that even the most unlikely heroes can make a big difference when they stand together. The Minions' unwavering support of Gru and his family underscores the idea that love and loyalty are what truly matter, making them some of the most beloved characters in the entire franchise. Together, Gru, Margot, Edith, Agnes, and the Minions create a family that is stronger than the sum of its parts. Each character plays a crucial role in the story, from Gru's emotional growth to the daughter's increasing independence and strength. Their dynamics are at the heart of Despicable Me 4, and it's through their bonds that the movie ultimately finds its most profound message: that family, love, and loyalty can overcome any obstacle, even one as dangerous as Gru's past. The characters' journeys in the film highlight the power of redemption, the importance of embracing change, and the strength found in unity. Creating a movie like Despicable Me 4 requires more than just creative brilliance. It involves countless behind-the-scenes moments, odd occurrences, and interesting facts that fans may never be aware of. From unexpected challenges on set to the quirky and unusual facts about its production, the making of Despicable Me 4 was filled with some strange, funny, and fascinating stories. These moments reflect not only the unpredictability of filmmaking but also the dedication and ingenuity of the people involved in bringing the movie to life. One of the most fascinating aspects of the production was the way the animation team pushed the boundaries of what was possible with the technology at the time. For the fourth installment of the Despicable Me franchise, the animators decided to use a new, cutting-edge technique to create even more realistic textures and lighting effects, particularly for the characters' hair and clothing. While this may sound like a small detail, it had a huge impact on the overall visual experience of the movie. The team spent countless hours fine-tuning the lighting, making sure that every strand of hair on Gru's head or every ripple of Agnes' dress was rendered perfectly. This level of attention to detail was something that had never been done before in an animated movie of this scale, and it required the entire team to experiment with new techniques, often leading to surprising and unexpected results. For example, the Minions, whose characteristic yellow bodies and animated antics have always been a favorite with audiences, required more work than anticipated during the production process. The animators struggled to make their movements more fluid and their interactions with each other appear more natural. To achieve this, they turned to something truly unusual: using motion capture technology. While motion capture is often used in live-action filmmaking to create realistic performances, it was rarely applied to fully animated characters like the Minions. But in Despicable Me 4, the animators found that by using motion capture on the Minions' bodies, they could create smoother, more lifelike animations that gave their quirky personalities an even more dynamic feel. This led to the creation of some pretty strange behind-the-scenes moments. For instance, to capture the motion of the Minions, the animators invited actors to wear specially designed suits that tracked their movements. They looked like tiny yellow blobs running around on set, trying to mimic the hilarious antics of the Minions. One actor even had to wear a large foam head that resembled a minion, and they would run around the studio, mimicking the chaotic energy that fans know and love from the characters. The crew was in stitches as they watched actors flailing around, trying to move like the bumbling Minions. These performances, although strange, were essential to making the final animation as lifelike and fluid as possible. The resulting film gave the Minions a newfound sense of physicality, making their movements and interactions feel more real and spontaneous. Another unusual occurrence during production involved the voice cast. As many fans know, Despicable Me has always featured an impressive group of voice actors, but in Despicable Me 4, the cast was more unpredictable than ever. Steve Carell, who voices Gru, was known for his hilarious ad-libs, but this time, he took his improvisational skills to a whole new level. There were moments during recording sessions where Carell would completely change Gru's lines on the spot, much to the delight of the crew. One of the most bizarre things that happened was when Carell came up with a whole new set of improvised dialogue for Gru, which ended up in the final cut of the film. Carell's impromptu lines were so funny that they had to be included, adding even more personality to the character. Carell's improvisations weren't the only ones that made it into the film. In fact, several of the Minions' famous gibberish-filled lines were also created in the recording booth. The Minions' language has always been a mix of random sounds and phrases, and it's no easy task to create this nonsensical dialogue. To develop their lines, the voice actors were encouraged to make up their own words and sounds, leading to some hilarious and unexpected results. One actor, in particular, managed to come up with an entire Minion song on the spot during a recording session, which ended up being used as part of a key scene in the film. It's a testament to the creativity and spontaneity that went into every part of the movie. Filming the sequences that required intense action and high-speed chases presented challenges that were, at times, a bit out of the ordinary. One of the more peculiar moments came when the production team needed to design a high-tech flying vehicle for a major chase scene. The vehicle, which would ultimately become a key element of the film's climax, was initially imagined as a sleek, futuristic design. However, the animators struggled to make it appear as though the vehicle was truly moving at high speeds. To solve this issue, the team turned to an unexpected source of inspiration, a Formula One car. They studied the way real race cars move, focusing on the aerodynamics and the small details that make fast-moving objects appear more realistic. This led to a completely unexpected turn in the design process, as the flying vehicle was given sleek, racing car-inspired elements that made it appear more dynamic. Even more curious were the unconventional filming techniques that were employed to make the action sequences feel fast-paced and exciting. Instead of relying on traditional methods of shooting, the production team experimented with something that had never been done in an animated film before, a technique borrowed from video game design. The team used video game-style camera angles to give the audience a first-person perspective of some of the chase scenes. This was especially challenging, as it meant animating the entire sequence from a viewpoint that mimicked the experience of actually being in the vehicle. The results were mind-blowing, creating a sense of immersion and excitement that had never been achieved in an animated movie. It was a strange and groundbreaking approach that set Despicable Me 4 apart from other animated films. There were also some peculiar instances when the sound design team had to get creative with how they captured and edited the film's sound effects. For example, in a key scene where Gru and the minions engage in an all-out battle with the villain, the sound effects needed to be over the top and exaggerated to match the chaos of the moment. To make the sounds as funny and outlandish as possible, the team used unconventional methods like hitting metal pipes with hammers, squashing fruits with high-pressure machines, and even recording the sound of a vacuum cleaner to capture the exaggerated whooshes that filled the scene. These strange sound effects gave the film an almost cartoonish quality, amplifying the humor and energy of the action. Perhaps one of the most unexpected facts about the making of Despicable Me 4 is how much the team took inspiration from the Minions' behavior in real life. During the production, the crew decided to observe the behavior of real-life animals to inform their animation of the Minions. The team took several trips to local zoos and animal sanctuaries to study how animals move and interact with each other. This gave the animators new insights into the way the Minions could move, making them appear more animal-like in some scenes. Their physicality, once entirely exaggerated, now felt more grounded and realistic, making the Minions' antics even more endearing. On top of all this, the team also spent a significant amount of time considering how to make the Minions' costumes and accessories feel more authentic. In an unusual move, they decided to bring in a professional costume designer who had worked on high-profile fashion projects to create new outfits for the Minions. The result? A set of tiny, uniquely designed uniforms for the Minions that matched their personalities while also reflecting the global aesthetic that had evolved with them over the years. The attention to detail in these outfits became a funny, yet deeply symbolic addition to the film, as the Minions' quirky style added to their charm and individuality. In addition to these strange and unexpected moments, Despicable Me 4 is packed with Easter eggs and references to past movies in the Despicable Me franchise. Fans of the series will delight in spotting subtle nods to Gru's earlier escapades, such as cameos from old gadgets, familiar locations, and even some characters who've previously appeared in the films. One of the most interesting facts is that the film contains a hidden reference to the first Despicable Me movie, where Gru first adopts the three girls. A small, almost invisible detail in one scene, a particular object in Gru's office, serves as a reminder of the film's humble beginnings. Behind every strange fact and quirky moment in Despicable Me 4 lies the dedication and passion of the creative team. These unexpected occurrences and offbeat decisions all come together to make the movie feel fresh, exciting, and unique. Whether it was capturing the Minions' crazy antics using motion capture or designing Gru's vehicle with inspiration from race cars, every detail, no matter how strange or unusual, added something special to the finished product. The movie's ability to blend humor, action, and heart while embracing unconventional techniques is what sets Despicable Me 4 apart from its predecessors. It's a film that's as fun to make as it is to watch, and these strange facts about its creation provide fans with a deeper appreciation for the amount of work and creativity that went into its production. As Despicable Me 4 enters its release, audiences and critics alike find themselves eagerly discussing its narrative events, the film's progression, and the way its thematic core resonates with the core values the franchise has built over the years. This film, like its predecessors, takes viewers on a roller coaster of emotion, humor, and action, while still managing to introduce a fresh set of challenges for its beloved characters. What sets Despicable Me 4 apart from the previous films, however, is the emotional depth it brings to certain significant events within the story. At its heart, this is a story about family, identity, and redemption, and how these themes intertwine with the light-hearted comedy and chaos that has defined the series. The opening moments of Despicable Me 4 set the stage for an exciting yet surprisingly introspective adventure. Early on, we are introduced to Gru's dilemma of balancing his life as a villain-turned-family man with the complexities of personal growth. The film's introduction to Gru's life shows him working hard to balance his obligations with his family while maintaining his quirky and eccentric personality. This early event is significant because it establishes a sense of responsibility for Gru that feels more urgent than before. It's clear that Gru's priorities have shifted, but how far will he go to protect what he loves most? This question lingers throughout the story, and it sets the emotional stakes high. One of the most notable elements of Despicable Me 4 is how it deals with Gru's relationship with the Minions, which has always been central to the franchise. While their hilarious antics continue to delight, the movie explores the complexities of their friendship, especially when the Minions find themselves at odds with Gru after a significant fallout. This event, which occurs when the Minions decide to strike out on their own after feeling unappreciated, is a pivotal moment. It challenges Gru's emotional journey and forces him to confront the idea that his reliance on the Minions may have been both a blessing and a curse. From a critical perspective, this event is rich with both humor and drama. It serves to elevate Gru as a character, showing his vulnerability and how his connections with others are tested as he navigates the changing dynamics in his life. Moreover, it showcases the theme of growth. Gru has to evolve beyond his reliance on the Minions as comic relief to fully embrace his role as a protector and father figure. The dynamic shift between Gru and the Minions also brings a deeper exploration of the film's broader thematic focus on friendship and loyalty. At this point, the narrative turns its focus on how these characters, who have always been more than mere comic relief, are given their own agency. The separation of Gru and the Minions sparks a series of events that serve as both comedic and emotional turning points for the characters involved. As the Minions venture off on their own, the story takes a darker, more serious turn, exploring what happens when the foundation of these relationships is challenged. From a thematic standpoint, this adds complexity to the film, elevating it beyond a simple family-friendly comedy. The emotional tension builds as the Minions struggle with feelings of abandonment, while Gru is forced to confront his own mistakes. Their eventual reconciliation is not just a comedic payoff, it's a moment of profound emotional depth, one that speaks to the power of forgiveness and understanding in any relationship. Another critical event in the film is when Gru faces off against the antagonist, a character whose motivations are tied to personal history with Gru. This confrontation, which occurs midway through the film, is a climactic point in terms of both action and character development. The villain's personal vendetta against Gru serves as a backdrop for the conflict, but it's clear that the film doesn't just focus on defeating a villain for the sake of plot, it's about Gru confronting his past. The film deftly blends action, suspense, and reflection as Gru faces the consequences of his earlier choices. In doing so, it touches on the thematic concept of redemption, a recurring motif in the series. Gru's decision to take on the antagonist is not just about protecting his family or restoring order. It's about taking responsibility for his past actions and making amends for the mistakes he's made. From a critical perspective, This turn of events is crucial because it shows how the stakes in Despicable Me 4 have evolved from a simple narrative about villainy and heroism to one that is about personal growth, responsibility, and the need to rectify past wrongs. The action sequences here are thrilling and visually striking, but they also serve as a canvas for Gru's emotional evolution. As he fights, the narrative emphasizes his transformation from the misunderstood villain of the earlier films to someone who embraces love, family, and self-improvement. These themes resonate deeply with the audience, and it's clear that the filmmakers were intent on using the action to further develop the character's journey, not just as a means of spectacle. As the story progresses toward its final act, another pivotal moment occurs, this time involving Gru's family. The emotional stakes are raised when Gru is faced with a choice that could endanger his family, forcing him to make a difficult decision about what he's willing to sacrifice to keep them safe. This decision leads to a sequence of events that pushes the limits of Gru's character development. It is in these final moments of the film that the central theme of family becomes most apparent. Gru's journey throughout Despicable Me 4 has been about reconciling his past with his present, and the emotional payoff comes when he realizes that his family, his 3 daughters and the minions, are the most important things in his life. The final climax, marked by a spectacular action sequence, leads to the resolution of both the external conflict with the antagonist and the internal conflict within Gru. The film ends on an uplifting note, showcasing Gru's transformation not just as a father, but as a more self-aware and emotionally open individual. He's come a long way from the villain he once was, but his love for his family and his willingness to change for them is what truly defines his character. This emotional resonance, which is both satisfying and heartwarming, leaves the audience with a sense of closure. It's a powerful reminder that the journey of self-improvement is ongoing, and the ultimate rewards come from understanding the importance of those we love and care for. Critically speaking, these events contribute to the film's success by elevating it beyond the typical animated family film. While Despicable Me 4 still delivers on the laughs and chaotic action that fans expect from the franchise, it also brings a level of emotional depth and thematic richness that adds layers to the story. The film's exploration of themes like redemption, forgiveness, and family is balanced expertly with humor, making it relatable not just to children, but to adult audiences as well. The dynamics between Gru and the minions, as well as his relationship with his family, provide moments of both comedy and poignant emotional moments that leave a lasting impact. From a reception standpoint, Despicable Me 4 was well received by critics who praised its ability to evolve the franchise while maintaining the spirit of what made the earlier films so beloved. The film's humor, while still silly and slapstick, is tempered by these more serious moments, giving it a unique emotional depth that resonates long after the credits roll. It's a film that appeals to a wide audience, from families looking for entertainment to older viewers who appreciate the themes of personal growth and redemption. The way these events unfold, from Gru's growth as a character to the emotional reconciliation with the minions, ensures that Despicable Me 4 leaves a lasting impression. In conclusion, Despicable Me 4 manages to capture the heart of its franchise while simultaneously breaking new ground in terms of its thematic and emotional resonance. The significant events throughout the film serve to advance the narrative in ways that feel both satisfying and meaningful. From Gru's journey toward self-awareness to his relationships with the minions and his family, the film shows that even the most comedic of stories can have deep emotional undercurrents that connect with audiences on a personal level. These elements contribute not only to the film's success but to its ability to stand out as a heartfelt and unforgettable chapter in the Despicable Me saga. The making of Despicable Me 4 is an adventure in itself, filled with behind-the-scenes stories, technical innovations, and creative efforts that brought this beloved franchise back to the big screen with fresh energy and emotional depth. Like any animated film, the production process of Despicable Me 4 was intricate and required a large, talented team working in tandem across various departments. What sets this film apart, however, is how the filmmakers aimed to push the boundaries of animation while still maintaining the charm and humor that fans have come to expect from the series. One of the key aspects of the filmmaking process for Despicable Me 4 was its emphasis on innovation in animation. The team at Illumination Studios, which has become known for its ability to produce high-quality, visually stunning animated films, used cutting-edge technology to bring the characters and world of Despicable Me to life. This was especially true for the Minions, whose antics have always been a key component of the film's charm. In Despicable Me 4, the animators used new techniques to make the Minions even more expressive and lifelike, adding more detail to their movements and facial expressions. This enhanced the humor and the emotional resonance of the Minions scenes, making them feel even more connected to the audience despite their largely nonsensical language and behavior. The storyboarding process for Despicable Me 4 was also particularly fascinating. Storyboarding, where the film is planned out scene by scene, was a collaborative effort between the director, writers, and the animation team. One of the main challenges the production team faced was figuring out how to balance the action-packed, comedic sequences with the more emotionally charged moments. For example, in the scenes where Gru and the Minions have a falling out, the storyboard artists had to ensure that the emotional depth of the sequence came through clearly, while still keeping the humor intact. This required a delicate balance of timing, expression, and pacing, ensuring that the audience could understand the gravity of the moment while still being entertained. Another aspect of the production process that stood out was the voice acting. The cast of Despicable Me 4 is undoubtedly one of its strongest assets, with Steve Carell once again returning to voice Gru. Carell's involvement in the project was crucial to bringing Gru's evolution to life, particularly as the character undergoes significant emotional growth. The production team worked closely with Carell to ensure that Gru's character was not only funny but also deeply relatable. Carell's approach to Gru's voice work in this film was noted for its subtlety, capturing Gru's more vulnerable side while still maintaining his eccentricities. The filmmakers were particularly impressed by how Carell could seamlessly switch between Gru's humorous moments and his more heartfelt lines, bringing a sense of complexity to the character. Similarly, the Minions, voiced by Pierre Coffin and other cast members, continue to be one of the driving forces of the film's comedic appeal. While the Minions may not speak intelligible language, their vocalizations and antics are key to their personality. Coffin and the other voice actors worked tirelessly to find the perfect vocalizations that matched the Minions' personality shifts, as they go from mischievous troublemakers to somewhat more introspective characters throughout the story. One particular fun fact from the production is that many of the Minion lines were improvised, with the voice actors being encouraged to riff off each other and bring spontaneous humor to the scenes. This improvisational spirit added to the playful nature of the Minions' interactions and helped keep the film feeling fresh and fun. Behind the scenes, the filmmakers also focused on the creative design elements of the movie, especially in the development of new settings and characters. A major component of the film's visual success is the rich world-building that has been a trademark of the Despicable Me films. Despicable Me 4 introduced new locations that were not only stunning but served to amplify the emotional stakes. For example, Gru's home, now more established as a family base, is a mix of high-tech villain lair and cozy family space. The design team spent a great deal of time ensuring that the house and its surroundings reflected Gru's journey from villain to father figure. The visual design of Gru's house and the Minions' various hideouts were designed to show this shift, with warm, inviting colors replacing the dark, sinister tones that marked earlier films in the series. The juxtaposition of these design choices reinforces the film's themes of family and transformation. Additionally, the new antagonist introduced in Despicable Me 4 was brought to life with a striking visual style. The design team had to create a villain that not only looked menacing but was visually distinct from Gru's past foes. Their challenge was to make sure this character stood out as a legitimate threat to Gru and his family while still fitting within the established visual style of the Despicable Me universe. The team utilized extensive concept art and digital modeling techniques to create a villain that could be both intimidating and unique in their design. The character's visual presence was heightened by detailed animation and motion capture, which added an extra layer of realism to their movements. When it came to the film's music, composer Heitor Pereira, who had previously worked on the Despicable Me franchise, returned to provide a score that combined whimsical elements with a more emotionally resonant tone. The film's music plays a crucial role in reinforcing the emotional beats throughout the film, especially during pivotal moments in Gru's journey. One fun fact about the score is that Pereira incorporated various musical motifs from the previous films, paying homage to the franchise's roots while also introducing new themes that reflect the evolution of Gru's character. The use of music to signal emotional shifts in the story was one of the most significant production choices, allowing the audience to feel the emotional weight of key scenes, whether they were humorous or heartwarming. Of course, the film's post-production process was just as integral to its success. After the animation was completed, the editing team worked tirelessly to ensure the pacing was spot on, especially during the action sequences. One of the biggest challenges in editing Despicable Me 4 was making sure the transitions between fast-paced, action-heavy scenes and the more introspective moments felt smooth and natural. This balance was critical in keeping the audience engaged throughout the movie while maintaining the emotional core that was central to the film. Editors had to make precise decisions on timing, ensuring that no joke was overstretched and that emotional moments were given the room they needed to resonate. Perhaps one of the most interesting anecdotes from the production of Despicable Me 4 is how the team used real-world inspiration for some of the more comical aspects of the film. For example, in one sequence, the minions find themselves caught in a situation where they must disguise themselves to blend into a crowd. The animators took inspiration from real-life moments of disguise and impersonation, observing how humans react when trying to remain inconspicuous. They then used this as a basis for animating the minions in humorous ways that felt both absurd and relatable. This blend of reality and fantasy in the animation process is one of the many ways Despicable Me 4 keeps its charm intact while expanding its visual and narrative scope. Another fun fact involves the length of time it took to animate some of the more complex sequences in the film. One scene in particular, which involves a high-speed chase, required intricate animation and special effects. To get the action just right, animators worked closely with the visual effects team to create a sequence that felt fluid and dynamic, with every twist and turn of the chase rendered in stunning detail. The scene was completed over several months, with constant adjustments to ensure that the action remained fast-paced but still understandable to the audience. The result was one of the film's most exciting sequences, packed with visual spectacle. In conclusion, Despicable Me 4 is the product of tireless dedication and creativity from a team of passionate individuals who poured their expertise into every aspect of the film. From the innovative animation techniques to the intricate character designs, the filmmakers pushed the boundaries of what was possible in animated filmmaking while staying true to the heart of the franchise. Fun facts and behind-the-scenes stories about the production only add to the allure of the film, as it showcases how each element. In the world of animated films, few franchises have made as lasting an impact as Despicable Me. The colorful and whimsical nature of the series has been one of its defining characteristics, and Despicable Me 4 continues this tradition with a fresh yet familiar world. The setting in this latest installment plays a vital role in enhancing the story, contributing to its mood and tone, and providing the backdrop for the film's emotionally charged moments. Through the careful design of environments, meticulous attention to detail in locations, and an innovative use of cinematography and visual elements, the film takes viewers on a visually stunning and emotionally immersive journey. The film opens in the same familiar world that fans of the Despicable Me franchise have come to know, Gru's suburban home, which serves as both a comedic and heartfelt base for Gru's transformation from villain to loving father. This setting, while rooted in the past, has undergone a transformation. The house is now a space that reflects Gru's growth as a character. The dark, menacing hues of his earlier villain lair have been replaced with warmer tones, symbolizing the emotional shift he has undergone. The design of the home is a delicate balance of the character's past as a villain and his new role as a family man. From the quirky gadgets and secret rooms to the cozy family spaces, the house feels like a character in itself, with each room telling a story about Gru's evolving personality in Despicable Me 4. This transformation of Gru's home mirrors the broader themes of the film, where the conflict of past and present is key. The visual elements of the home's design emphasize the emotional stakes of the story. The home isn't just a backdrop for the narrative, but rather a reflection of Gru's inner struggles. For instance, when Gru faces moments of uncertainty, the house itself feels darker, almost as if the shadows reflect his self-doubt. But when Gru connects with his family or experiences moments of emotional growth, the house is bathed in soft, warm light, signifying hope and familial love. As the story progresses, the setting expands beyond Gru's house to various other locations that provide both contrast and complement to the emotional and narrative arcs. One of the most striking settings introduced in Despicable Me 4 is the villain's lair, where the primary antagonist operates. While Gru's lair was once dark and sinister, the antagonist's lair is a reflection of their more chaotic nature. The space is vast and disorienting, with angular, sharp designs that convey a sense of danger and unpredictability. The lair's stark, cold architecture provides a sharp contrast to Gru's now warm, familial home. The colors here are muted, primarily gray and silver, with occasional flashes of bright, electric hues, suggesting an atmosphere of tension and impending danger. This contrast between the two lairs highlights the stark difference between Gru's transformation and the antagonist's chaotic nature, setting up the central conflict of the film. The locations that Gru and his family visit during their adventures also enhance the film's emotional resonance. As the story unfolds, Gru's journey takes him to various new and unfamiliar places, each designed to emphasize his transformation as well as the stakes of the film. A particularly memorable sequence involves Gru and his minions traveling to a remote island to confront the antagonist. The island, while visually stunning with its lush greenery, stark cliffs, and turquoise waters, represents an emotional and physical journey for Gru. The island's isolation and natural beauty create a sense of both peace and foreboding. As Gru and his family navigate through the island, the settings serve as a metaphor for Gru's personal growth. The island, cut off from the world, is a place where Gru must confront his past and the choices he has made. It is in this remote setting that Gru faces some of the film's most intense emotional moments. The cinematography in Despicable Me 4 enhances these settings and locations, using both camera techniques and visual storytelling to create a mood that complements the story. From wide, sweeping shots of the expansive landscapes to intimate close-ups of Gru's face, the cinematography is used to emphasize the emotional stakes of the film. One of the most notable techniques is the use of lighting to highlight the contrast between different emotional states. During moments of tension or high stakes, the lighting becomes stark and cold, with shadows creeping across the frame. This creates a sense of unease, making the audience feel the weight of the situation. In contrast, during the more tender moments, the lighting softens, with warm tones bathing the characters in light. This use of light and shadow serves as a visual cue to the audience, helping to guide their emotional responses to the story. The camera work is also notable in how it mirrors the film's thematic elements. For example, during action-packed sequences, the camera frequently zooms in and out, creating a sense of urgency and excitement. Quick cuts and sharp movements heighten the tension, making the audience feel as though they are in the middle of the action. On the other hand, during quieter moments, such as when Gru has an emotional conversation with his family, the camera lingers on the characters, allowing the audience to fully absorb the emotional weight of the scene. The slow, deliberate movements of the camera during these moments create an intimacy that draws the audience closer to the characters' struggles. Additionally, the framing of shots is used to convey the internal conflicts of the characters. For instance, there are several moments in the film where Gru is framed within a doorway or behind a window, suggesting his feelings of isolation or being trapped in his past. These visual choices are subtle but powerful, reinforcing the themes of the film and adding depth to the characters' emotional journeys. The use of framing also serves to heighten the dramatic tension in key moments, such as when Gru faces off against the antagonist in their lair. The characters are often placed in extreme close-ups or far away from the camera, creating a sense of distance or confrontation. The film also employs the use of vibrant, contrasting colors to evoke specific moods. For example, the scenes set in Gru's family home are filled with bright, welcoming colors that convey warmth and comfort. The minions' antics are often accompanied by bold colors, amplifying the playful and chaotic energy they bring to the screen. In contrast, the villain's lair is dominated by cold, metallic hues, suggesting an environment that is unforgiving and dangerous. These visual elements serve not only to make the film more aesthetically appealing, but also to enhance the underlying emotional currents of the story. The use of color provides a subtle but effective way of communicating the characters' internal states, from the warmth of Gru's family life to the cold, calculating nature of the antagonist. The animated film also makes extensive use of visual metaphors to enhance its storytelling. One particularly striking example is the minions, who, through their actions and expressions, often serve as a reflection of Gru's emotional state. In many scenes, the minions are portrayed as comedic and zany, but their behavior also acts as a visual representation of Gru's inner turmoil. In moments when Gru is feeling uncertain or lost, the minions mirror those emotions by acting in a more chaotic or disoriented way. This visual connection between Gru and the minions adds an extra layer of depth to their relationship, making it more than just comedic relief. Their antics serve to highlight the emotional stakes of the story, reminding the audience of the bond between Gru and his loyal companions. The use of animation also plays a significant role in the visual storytelling of Despicable Me 4. The film employs the latest animation techniques to create highly detailed and expressive characters. The minions, in particular, are brought to life with incredible detail, from their little movements to their exaggerated facial expressions. The level of detail in the animation allows for more subtle emotional moments, such as a single glance or gesture, to convey a wealth of meaning. This is particularly evident in the way the minions' facial expressions are used to convey their emotions, even though they cannot speak in a traditional sense. The animator's attention to detail in the minions' movements adds a layer of personality and depth to the characters, making them feel more like real, sentient beings than just comic relief. The final piece of the cinematic puzzle is the integration of visual effects, which are used to bring the world of Despicable Me 4 to life in ways that go beyond traditional animation. The film's visual effects team used advanced techniques to create realistic environments and dynamic action sequences. For example, the film's action scenes, particularly those involving the villain's lair and Gru's confrontations, are filled with dynamic visual effects that enhance the sense of danger and excitement. Explosions, energy blasts, and other effects are integrated seamlessly into the animated world, adding a layer of realism to the fantastical events unfolding on screen. These effects contribute to the film's sense of scale, making the action sequences feel more intense and thrilling. In conclusion, the setting and cinematography of Despicable Me 4 play a crucial role in enhancing the story, building mood and tone, and reinforcing the emotional and thematic elements of the film. From the detailed design of Gru's home to the menacing villain lair, each location serves as a reflection of the character's internal struggles and growth. The cinematography, with its careful use of lighting, framing, and camera movement, adds depth and intimacy to the story, guiding the audience through both the emotional highs and lows of the narrative. Through the use of vibrant colors, visual metaphors, and cutting-edge animation techniques, the film creates a visually stunning world that resonates emotionally with its audience, making it not only a visual treat but also a deeply impactful cinematic experience. Creating a film like Despicable Me 4 is a massive undertaking that involves the hard work of a dedicated team of animators, voice actors, directors, and countless other crew members. Behind the bright, colorful world of Gru, the minions, and their whimsical adventures, lies a wealth of fascinating behind-the-scenes stories, some funny, others surprisingly challenging, but all integral to bringing the beloved animated film to life. The production of Despicable Me 4 started several years before the movie was finally completed and released to audiences. During those years, the filmmakers and animators dedicated themselves to ensuring that every detail was perfect, every character was meticulously crafted, and every visual and emotional beat in the story was carefully handled. But as is often the case in filmmaking, things didn't always go according to plan. There were plenty of unexpected moments on set, whether they were technical challenges, hilarious miscommunications, or moments of serendipity that ultimately shaped the final product. For instance, one of the most surprising stories from the set involved the creation of the Minions, who have become iconic since their first appearance in the Despicable Me franchise. The Minions, with their childlike antics and lovable personalities, are the heart of the Despicable Me series, and in Despicable Me 4, their role remains central to the plot. The animators, however, faced an unexpected challenge when it came to capturing the Minions' distinctive behavior. Each Minion has a unique way of moving, gesturing, and expressing themselves, despite having very little dialogue. To get their movements just right, the animation team worked closely with motion capture actors, who were tasked with bringing the Minions' exaggerated, quirky behavior to life. The process was a mix of science and art, and at times it was a bit chaotic. The animators had to create sophisticated rigs for the motion capture actors, and the actors themselves had to go through an intense physical workout to get the proper movements down. But what made this particularly challenging was that the Minions are also very expressive despite not speaking English in any meaningful way. So, the animators had to rely on body language, physical expression, and tiny but significant movements to bring their character to life. One particularly funny story that came from this was a motion capture actor who, while recording, tripped and fell. Rather than editing the mistake out, the animators decided to incorporate it into the film, resulting in a hilarious moment where a Minion comically stumbles while trying to keep up with Gru. The inclusion of this moment added a sense of spontaneity and charm to the Minions' already beloved antics, and the entire team laughed as they saw how a mistake had added to the character's authenticity. Another interesting behind-the-scenes story comes from the voice recording sessions, which were filled with fun moments and surprising improvisations. The voice cast for Despicable Me 4 was once again led by Steve Carell, who reprises his role as Gru. But what many people don't know is that during the recording process, Steve Carell often had the freedom to improvise his lines, which led to some of the funniest moments in the film. The voice cast would gather in the studio, with the animators and directors observing, and they'd riff on the script, throwing out new ideas and concepts for their characters. Sometimes, Carell's improvisations would result in entirely new scenes, which the animators would then adapt to fit within the movie's storyline. One such improvisation came during a particularly emotional scene between Gru and his family. While the script had originally called for a brief conversation, Carell ad-libbed an entire sequence that expanded on Gru's internal struggle. The new lines, which were heartfelt and full of genuine emotion, added layers to Gru's character that had not been present before. The filmmakers were so impressed with Carell's performance that they rewrote parts of the scene to incorporate the improv lines, resulting in one of the most emotionally powerful moments of the film. In addition to Steve Carell, the Despicable Me 4 voice cast included a host of familiar voices. Kristen Wiig returned as Lucy, Gru's wife, and their dynamic was a source of great joy for the filmmakers. Wiig, known for her comedic timing, was often paired with Carell in the recording studio, and their natural chemistry translated into a seamless interaction on screen. A fun fact from the set is that Carell and Wiig spent a lot of time improvising together, feeding off each other's energy. Some of the film's most hilarious sequences were born out of these collaborative sessions. It wasn't uncommon for the two to spend hours going back and forth, trying different comedic deliveries for their lines. One particularly memorable instance involved the Minions getting involved in the scene. Carell and Wiig had to improvise an entire sequence where they interact with the Minions in an outlandish and chaotic way, and the crew could hardly contain their laughter as the two voice actors riffed off each other. While the voice acting was an essential part of the film, the technical side of the production presented its own set of challenges. The animation for Despicable Me 4 was incredibly complex, with the filmmakers pushing the boundaries of what was possible in terms of texture, lighting, and special effects. The team wanted to make the characters more realistic than ever, while still preserving the iconic look of the franchise. One challenge that arose during the animation process was the rendering of Gru's facial expressions. Gru's face, with its exaggerated features and distinct looks, is a crucial part of his character. However, animating his face to capture his emotions while keeping the character true to his design proved to be a tricky task. The animators spent weeks adjusting the digital model of Gru's face, testing different techniques until they achieved the perfect balance between realism and stylization. There were moments during this process when the team feared the character would lose his iconic look, but through collaboration and trial and error, they succeeded in maintaining the charm that fans loved. The animators also faced challenges when it came to creating the film's more action-packed sequences, particularly the scenes involving the Minions and Gru's confrontation with the villain. These sequences required an intricate balance of choreography, visual effects, and careful timing. The action scenes needed to be fast-paced and dynamic, while still allowing for the humor and heart that defines the series. The filmmakers were determined to make the action sequences feel as vibrant and entertaining as possible, but they didn't want the spectacle to overshadow the emotional beats of the film. The solution came through close collaboration between the animation team, the sound department, and the voice cast, as they worked together to create action sequences that were thrilling but still in line with the film's comedic tone. Beyond the technical challenges, Despicable Me 4 also faced challenges in its approach to storytelling. The film needed to strike a balance between staying true to the beloved elements of the franchise while also exploring new emotional and thematic territory. The creative team worked tirelessly to ensure that the story would feel fresh and engaging while maintaining the light-hearted, family-friendly tone that had made the earlier films so successful. After several rewrites, the team found the perfect balance, crafting a storyline that was both emotionally resonant and comedic. The film's success in balancing these two aspects was a testament to the teamwork and dedication of the writers, directors, and producers. As Despicable Me 4 neared its release date, the entire cast and crew celebrated their hard work with a final screening of the film. The atmosphere was filled with a sense of accomplishment, and the filmmakers were excited to share their work with the world. But despite all the effort and hard work that had gone into making the film, there was still one more fun surprise in store for everyone. As the credits rolled, the filmmakers had included a special, never-before-seen blooper reel, showing behind-the-scenes footage of the voice cast's funniest moments, the animators' reactions to unexpected animation glitches, and the crew's light-hearted interactions throughout the production process. The blooper reel became a hit among the crew, reminding everyone just how much fun they had making the film, even amid the challenges. In the end, Despicable Me 4 was a product of collaboration, creativity, and the determination of everyone involved. From the voice actors to the animators, from the technical team to the directors, the making of the film was filled with fun, surprising stories, and a few challenges along the way. But it was the passion and dedication of the entire crew that ultimately brought Gru, the Minions, and their world to life in a way that resonated with audiences worldwide. And for the cast and crew, the joy of seeing the film on the big screen was the best reward for all their hard work. Despicable Me 4 explores a rich array of themes that resonate deeply with audiences, intertwining humor with poignant moments of growth, connection, and self-discovery. As with its predecessors, the film masterfully balances its whimsical nature with profound reflections on family, identity, and the complex nature of good versus evil. The themes and symbolism in Despicable Me 4 not only enhance the emotional depth of the story but also offer viewers a greater understanding of the characters and their motivations. The themes explored in the film resonate on multiple levels, both for children and adults, providing a narrative that is as thought-provoking as it is entertaining. One of the central themes in Despicable Me 4 revolves around family and what it means to be part of something bigger than oneself. The film places a significant emphasis on the bonds between Gru, Lucy, their 3 adopted daughters, and the Minions. These relationships, while often comedic and light-hearted, serve as the emotional foundation for the story. The film opens with a strong focus on Gru's struggle to maintain his familial roles and responsibilities, as he continues to juggle being a supervillain-turned-good guy, a husband, and a father. However, as the story progresses, Gru's growth becomes clear. He realizes that his love for his family is the true source of his strength and that his self-worth is not tied to his past as a villain but to his role in supporting those he loves. The theme of family is explored in various ways throughout the film. Gru's internal journey to redefine his sense of self in relation to his family is mirrored by the challenges the Minions face in trying to help him. They too must learn what it means to be a family, particularly when they are faced with their own fears of abandonment. The Minions, as loyal and mischievous as ever, take on an unexpected role in Gru's quest for personal growth. Through their antics and their unconditional love for Gru, they remind him of the importance of connection, loyalty, and sacrifice. These moments highlight the underlying theme that family is not just about blood relations, but the bonds formed through love and mutual support. A significant part of the film's exploration of family comes from the evolving relationship between Gru and his wife, Lucy. Lucy, whose character arc has always been about overcoming her own doubts and fears to be a good mother and wife, faces new challenges in Despicable Me 4. In the beginning of the film, she struggles with balancing her own ambitions and her role as a mother and wife to Gru. However, as the plot unfolds, she undergoes a transformation that reflects her growing confidence and her deep commitment to her family. Her journey echoes the message that being part of a family requires constant evolution, understanding, and compromise. The theme of balancing personal identity with familial duties is embodied in her character, and her growth is a crucial part of the emotional core of the film. Another key theme in Despicable Me 4 is redemption. Gru's transformation from a villain to a hero has been a recurring theme throughout the franchise, but in this film, the idea of redemption is explored more deeply. Gru faces the possibility of relapsing into his old ways, particularly when a new antagonist presents a challenge that tempts him to revert to his villainous instincts. This serves as a reminder that redemption is not a one-time achievement but a continuous process. Throughout the film, Gru grapples with the idea that his past will always be a part of him, but that doesn't mean he cannot grow and become a better person. This struggle is reflected in the interactions between Gru and his daughters, who have grown to love him as a father figure. They help him rediscover the value of love and self-worth, showing him that redemption is about choosing to be better every day, even in the face of temptation. The minions also play a pivotal role in this exploration of redemption. While they are often seen as goofy and mischievous, they represent the idea that even those who have made mistakes or acted in less-than-ideal ways can find their path to redemption. Their loyalty to Gru and their willingness to support him, no matter the circumstances, symbolize the power of forgiveness and second chances. Through their loyalty, the film reinforces the message that redemption is not about erasing one's past mistakes but learning to embrace one's flaws and move forward in a positive direction. At the heart of Despicable Me 4 is the theme of self-discovery. Gru's journey is ultimately one of uncovering his true self, free from the constraints of his past as a villain. As the plot unfolds, Gru realizes that being a supervillain is not his true identity. Instead, he discovers that his worth lies in being a devoted husband, father, and friend. This theme is echoed by several other characters in the film, including the minions, who are also on a journey of self-discovery. Through their comedic and heartwarming adventures, they learn that their true value lies not in their mischievous deeds but in their capacity for love and friendship. Their growth reflects the idea that self-worth is not determined by one's past actions or the roles they've played, but by their capacity to evolve and learn from experiences. The antagonist in Despicable Me 4 plays a crucial role in highlighting the theme of self-discovery, as Gru's struggle with this villain forces him to confront his own insecurities and fears. The villain represents a distorted version of Gru, someone who clings to their past to justify their actions. Gru's battle with the antagonist becomes a metaphor for his inner conflict, as he is forced to face the temptation of returning to his old ways and question whether he truly deserves the life he's built. The conflict with the antagonist mirrors Gru's internal struggle and serves as a catalyst for his growth, allowing him to embrace his true self and let go of the past. In addition to these primary themes, Despicable Me 4 also explores the importance of loyalty and friendship. The minions, as Gru's most loyal companions, are not only comic relief but also the embodiment of unwavering support and love. Their relationship with Gru is the cornerstone of the film, and their actions throughout the story highlight the strength of friendship and the value of loyalty. Even when Gru is faced with challenges that seem insurmountable, the minions stand by him, offering support, humor, and encouragement. Their loyalty becomes a source of strength for Gru, showing that true friendship is one of the most powerful forces in life. The film also uses symbolism to deepen its exploration of these themes. One of the most prominent symbols is the minions themselves. The minions, with their childlike innocence, silly antics, and undying loyalty, represent the purity and simplicity of love and friendship. They do not judge Gru for his past and accept him for who he is, flaws and all. In many ways, the minions symbolize the idea that true friendship is not conditional on perfection but is based on acceptance, understanding, and mutual respect. The setting of Despicable Me 4 also plays an important symbolic role. Gru's home, which serves as the primary location for many of the film's key scenes, is a place of warmth and comfort, symbolizing the stability and safety of family life. The setting contrasts with the film's earlier depictions of Gru's lair, a cold, impersonal place that once symbolized his villainous persona. As Gru transitions away from his old life and embraces his role as a father and husband, the setting reflects this change. His home becomes a symbol of his personal growth, as it is filled with love, laughter, and support from his family. Another piece of symbolism in the film is the use of color. The colors throughout Despicable Me 4 are vibrant and playful, reflecting the film's light-hearted tone. However, darker, more muted colors are used during moments of conflict and introspection, underscoring the emotional gravity of Gru's journey. This contrast in color serves to visually represent the balance between humor and the deeper themes of the story, allowing the audience to experience the emotional highs and lows of Gru's transformation. Ultimately, the themes and symbolism in Despicable Me 4 work together to create a narrative that is both entertaining and emotionally resonant. The film's exploration of family, redemption, self-discovery, and loyalty is woven seamlessly into the plot, creating a story that is as heartwarming as it is humorous. Through the symbolism of the minions, the setting, and the use of color, the film conveys its themes in a way that is visually striking and emotionally impactful. At its core, Despicable Me 4 is a story about growth, love, and the power of friendship, an enduring message that resonates with audiences of all ages. Creating a movie like Despicable Me 4 is no small feat, and the filmmakers employed an array of filmmaking techniques to ensure that the film not only lived up to the high standards set by its predecessors but also pushed the boundaries of animated cinema. From the opening frames to the final credits, the film's atmosphere is shaped by a combination of cutting-edge animation, inventive camera work, intricate sound design, and clever editing. Each of these aspects contributes to the film's immersive experience, making it more than just a typical animated movie. It becomes a vibrant, emotional, and engaging journey for viewers of all ages. The animation in Despicable Me 4 is one of the standout features of the film. The team behind the movie used state-of-the-art 3D computer animation, employing techniques that have evolved significantly since the first film in the franchise. The advancements in technology allowed the animators to bring the characters to life with even more detail and fluidity, from the intricacies of Gru's facial expressions to the chaotic antics of the minions. The film's animation technique plays a crucial role in shaping its tone, bright, vibrant, and filled with energy during the comedic sequences, and more subdued and textured during the emotional moments. The animation is not only used to drive the story forward but also to elicit emotional responses from the audience, making the characters feel more real, relatable, and engaging. One of the most notable techniques used in Despicable Me 4 is the depth and richness of the world building. The film's environments, whether it's the sprawling city streets, Gru's home, or the villainous lairs, are meticulously crafted to support the story's themes. The filmmakers made use of CGI to create these fantastical worlds, blending realistic textures with exaggerated designs to enhance the sense of whimsy and fun that permeates the entire film. The locations are not just backdrops. They are characters in their own right, contributing to the film's emotional resonance. For example, Gru's home is warm, inviting, and filled with soft, glowing lights, signaling a place of safety, love, and belonging. In contrast, the villain's lair is dark and oppressive, adding to the menacing atmosphere and reinforcing the conflict between good and evil. These stylistic choices contribute to the immersive experience, allowing viewers to feel as though they are truly entering the world of Despicable Me. In addition to the animation, the film's camera work plays a crucial role in shaping the atmosphere. The use of dynamic camera angles and sweeping shots adds energy and movement to the scenes, ensuring that the viewer's attention is always directed exactly where it needs to be. The action scenes are punctuated by quick cuts and fast-paced camera movements that mirror the chaotic energy of the minions, adding excitement and a sense of urgency to these moments. Meanwhile, more intimate scenes between Gru and his family are filmed with steady, slower camera movements that help to ground the story in emotion, allowing the audience to connect with the characters on a deeper level. These transitions between fast-paced action and slow, intimate moments reflect the balance the film strikes between humor and heart. The film also uses wide shots to create a sense of scale and depth, particularly when showcasing large, expansive environments or larger-than-life sequences. These wide shots give the audience a chance to appreciate the vastness of the world in which the characters exist, enhancing the sense of adventure and grandeur. On the other hand, Tight close-up shots of the characters' faces during emotional moments help to focus on their internal struggles and make the viewer feel more connected to their journey. By carefully selecting camera angles and shot compositions, the filmmakers ensure that every moment in the film contributes to the overall mood and tone, making it an incredibly engaging cinematic experience. Sound plays an equally important role in shaping the atmosphere of Despicable Me 4. The sound design is a crucial element that enhances the immersive experience, from the whimsical sounds of the Minions' antics to the more dramatic soundscapes during key action sequences. The film's sound team utilized a combination of diegetic and non-diegetic sounds to help tell the story and guide the audience's emotions. Diegetic sounds, those that are heard within the world of the film, like the Minions' chatter, the screeching of vehicles, or the bustling of city streets, create a sense of realism and continuity within the fictional world. These sounds draw the viewer into the film's universe, making the fantastical elements feel more grounded and believable. Non-diegetic sounds, on the other hand, play a more emotional and narrative-driven role. The score, composed by the talented artists behind the film, complements the story's emotional beats, enhancing the audience's connection to the characters and their struggles. The music swells during moments of triumph, reflecting the character's growth, while it softens during emotional moments, reinforcing the intimacy of the family dynamic. The score also uses leitmotifs, recurring musical themes associated with specific characters or emotions, to highlight key moments and bring a sense of continuity to the film. The use of music is particularly effective in the film's action scenes, where the score heightens the tension and excitement. The timing of the music in relation to the visual action is a testament to the careful craftsmanship of the filmmakers, ensuring that every moment is amplified by the sound. In addition to the music, the sound effects in Despicable Me 4 are incredibly effective at enhancing the humor and energy of the film. The Minions, with their playful and mischievous nature, are often accompanied by quirky, exaggerated sound effects that reflect their childlike innocence and chaotic behavior. These sound effects help to establish the tone of the film early on, making it clear that this is a light-hearted adventure full of humor and fun. The use of sound also plays a significant role in creating tension during the film's climactic moments. For example, the villain's menacing laugh is accompanied by deep, booming sound effects that heighten the sense of danger, while the Minions' frantic movements are often paired with fast-paced, whimsical sounds that mirror their erratic energy. Editing is another key element in shaping the film's atmosphere. The editing in Despicable Me 4 is fast-paced and dynamic, keeping the viewer engaged throughout the movie. The quick cuts during the action scenes ensure that the excitement never lets up, while slower, more deliberate edits during emotional moments give the audience time to reflect on the characters' journeys. The rhythm of the editing helps to maintain the balance between comedy and drama, ensuring that the film never feels too heavy or too light. The editing also helps to establish the pacing of the story, with well-timed transitions between scenes that keep the plot moving forward without feeling rushed or drawn out. One of the standout features of the film's editing is the seamless integration of visual gags and comedic moments. The editing team expertly weaves these moments into the larger narrative, ensuring that the humor never feels out of place or distracting. Whether it's a quick cut to a minion's ridiculous facial expression or a fast-paced chase sequence, the editing serves to heighten the comedic effect and keep the audience laughing. The clever use of jump cuts, slow motion, and timing all contribute to the film's visual humor, making it not only funny but visually engaging as well. When it comes to Despicable Me 4's box office performance, the film is expected to perform exceptionally well, building on the success of the previous films in the franchise. The Despicable Me series has proven to be a major box office draw, with each installment achieving both critical and commercial success. Despicable Me 4 continues this trend, attracting both longtime fans of the franchise and new viewers. The franchise's blend of humor, heart, and visual spectacle has made it a global phenomenon, with audiences eagerly anticipating each new release. The film's combination of cutting-edge animation, an engaging storyline, and beloved characters has made it a must-see for families and animation lovers alike. The box office performance of Despicable Me 4 is also influenced by its broad appeal. While the film's humor and action scenes are designed to entertain children, Its emotional depth and sophisticated themes ensure that adult viewers also find something meaningful in the story. This multi-generational appeal has been a hallmark of the Despicable Me franchise, and it plays a significant role in driving the film's success at the box office. The film's ability to entertain and resonate with audiences of all ages is a testament to the skill of the filmmakers, who have created a story that transcends age and genre. In conclusion, the filmmaking techniques used in Despicable Me 4 work in harmony to create an immersive, engaging, and emotionally resonant experience. From the stunning animation and dynamic camera work to the expertly crafted sound design and editing, every element of the film contributes to its overall atmosphere. The filmmaker's attention to detail ensures that the film is both visually stunning and emotionally impactful, creating a lasting impression on the audience. Combined with its strong box office performance, Despicable Me 4 is yet another triumph in a beloved franchise, proving that great filmmaking is about more than just flashy visuals. It's about creating an experience that resonates with viewers on a deeper level. Creating a film as beloved and successful as Despicable Me 4, 2024, requires a dynamic and talented cast. Each actor's contribution is integral to the film's success, bringing life and authenticity to characters that audiences already know and love. The talent behind Despicable Me 4 not only brought their unique skills to the roles but also helped elevate the story with compelling performances that resonated with viewers worldwide. Through interviews and reviews, we can see how their work impacted the film and what it meant for the franchise as a whole. In this story, we explore the cast's performances, their interactions during production, and how their portrayals impacted the audience, all while providing insight into the behind-the-scenes atmosphere of this beloved animated feature. The movie's central character, Gru, is once again voiced by Steve Carell. Carell's portrayal of Gru is a cornerstone of the franchise, and his return to the role in Despicable Me 4 brings a sense of continuity and nostalgia to the film. In interviews, Carell discussed how Gru's evolution over the years has been both a challenge and a joy. The character has grown from a villain with an absurd plan for world domination to a loving father, and this emotional arc has given Carell the opportunity to show off his dramatic range in addition to his comedic chops. Gru is really a character who's evolved quite a bit, Carell said in one of his interviews. The first film, he was sort of a one-note villain. But as the series progressed, we saw him develop a heart, particularly with his daughters. And in Despicable Me 4, that journey continues in a big way. The complexity of the character's emotional journey really adds depth to the humor. It's a delicate balance. Carell's ability to juggle the character's comedic, villainous, and emotional sides is what makes his performance so unique. His deep voice, exaggerated inflections, and ability to imbue Gru with an endearing quality ensure that even in the most outlandish situations, the audience remains invested in his journey. Alongside Carell, we have Kristen Wiig, who returns as the voice of Gru's wife, Lucy Wilde. Wiig's performance is a perfect complement to Carell's, as she brings a quirky charm and warmth to the character. In interviews, Wiig talked about the fun she had returning to the role and how she found new layers to Lucy. Lucy is such an amazing character, Wiig said. She's tough, confident, and funny, but there's also a vulnerability to her. She's navigating her role as a mother and a partner, and in Despicable Me 4, we get to explore more of that dynamic. Wiig's portrayal of Lucy is as sharp as it is loving, and her chemistry with Carell's Gru continues to be one of the highlights of the series. The Minions, of course, continue to steal the show in Despicable Me 4. These lovable creatures, voiced by Pierre Coffin, have become iconic since the first film. Coffin, who also co-directed the previous Despicable Me films, has always been able to bring the Minions' antics to life with infectious energy. In interviews, Coffin has explained how challenging it can be to give the Minions distinct personalities without relying on a traditional script. The Minions are not easy to voice, he explained. It's a combination of physical performance and vocal work. They communicate through a mix of gibberish and gestures, and so we have to make sure that every Minion has a unique voice and presence even without using conventional language. Coffin's work as the Minions is a testament to his creativity and ability to make these tiny creatures feel like the heart of the film. The new addition to the voice cast in Despicable Me 4 is Taraji P. Henson, who voices the film's antagonist, Bell Bottom. In interviews, Henson revealed how much fun she had portraying a villain with a sense of flair and style. Bell Bottom is a very unique character. She's confident, glamorous, and has a touch of mystery, Henson said. She's a bit of an over-the-top villain, but I think she's also relatable in her own way. I enjoyed diving into that and giving her a memorable voice. Henson's portrayal of Bell Bottom brings a new level of excitement to the Despicable Me universe, and her chemistry with Carell's Gru adds a layer of tension and humor to their interactions. The contrast between her villainous personality and Gru's endearing awkwardness creates some of the most memorable moments in the film. The supporting cast is also notable in Despicable Me 4. Dana Geyer and Nev Charrel return as Gru's daughters, Margot and Agnes, respectively. Geyer and Charrel bring a great deal of warmth and relatability to their roles, capturing the essence of Gru's family life. Margot, the eldest daughter, shows her more mature side, while Agnes, the youngest, continues to charm audiences with her innocent and loving nature. Their performances help ground the film's more outlandish moments, providing the emotional center that balances the humor. In interviews, the young actresses discussed how much fun they had working with the rest of the cast. "It's always a joy to be a part of this family," Geyer said. "We've all worked together for so long, and it's like a reunion every time we get back to recording." The director of Despicable Me 4, Kyle Balda, has played a significant role in shaping the film's overall vision. He has directed several films in the Despicable Me franchise and has a deep understanding of the characters and the world they inhabit. In interviews, Balda spoke about his approach to the film's direction. "We wanted to push the boundaries of what was possible in animation while still staying true to the heart of the franchise," he explained. "There's always a delicate balance between innovation and tradition, and we worked hard to ensure that we captured both." Balda's commitment to preserving the series' core elements while introducing fresh ideas is reflected in the final product. The film's dynamic action sequences, emotional depth, and visual richness are a testament to his direction and leadership. When it comes to audience reception, Despicable Me 4 has been met with overwhelmingly positive reviews, with viewers praising its humor, heart, and exciting storyline. The film continues to captivate both longtime fans of the franchise and newcomers alike. On review platforms like Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb, the film has maintained a strong rating, with many audience members commenting on the film's perfect balance of family-friendly comedy and heartfelt moments. The Despicable Me series has always been about family, and Despicable Me 4 continues that tradition while bringing in new adventures and emotions, said one review. "The Minions are as funny as ever, but the real heart of the film is Gru and his family. It's the perfect blend of humor and warmth." The film's portrayal of family dynamics has struck a chord with audiences, who have commented on how the relationships between Gru, Lucy, and their children continue to evolve in meaningful ways. The film's emotional beats have been particularly well received, with viewers highlighting the moments where Gru reflects on his role as a father and his desire to keep his family safe. "It's incredible to see Gru's growth," said another reviewer. "He's no longer just the bumbling villain, but a loving father who will do anything for his family." It really adds an emotional layer to the story that makes it more than just a comedy. The addition of Bell Bottom as a villain has also generated buzz among fans. Many viewers have expressed their excitement over the new character, with Henson's performance being singled out as a highlight of the film. "Bell Bottom is a fantastic villain," said a fan review. "She's stylish, bold, and charismatic. Taraji P. Henson absolutely kills it in this role." The juxtaposition between Henson's suave, glamorous villain and the goofy, lovable minions has proven to be a winning combination, with many fans praising the dynamic between the characters. Overall, Despicable Me 4 has received widespread praise for its humor, animation, and emotional storytelling. The performances from the cast, both veterans and newcomers, have added depth and charm to the film, while the direction and production values have ensured that it stands as a worthy continuation of the Despicable Me legacy. Fans are excited to see where the franchise goes next, and Despicable Me 4 proves that there's still plenty of life left in this beloved series. Whether it's the heartfelt moments or the over-the-top comedy, there's something in the film for everyone. It's clear that the magic of Despicable Me continues to captivate audiences, and the franchise's future looks brighter than ever. Despicable Me 4, 2024, is more than just another animated film in a beloved franchise. It is a rich tapestry of family dynamics, humor, and heart. As we've explored in this deep dive, the film successfully builds upon the foundation established by its predecessors while introducing fresh elements that make it stand out as a standout installment in the Despicable Me series. From its talented cast to the vibrant animation and intricate plot, Despicable Me 4 continues to captivate audiences worldwide, delivering a film that is both exciting and emotionally resonant. One of the most notable aspects of Despicable Me 4 is the return of key characters, most notably Gru, voiced by Steve Carell. His portrayal of Gru is a testament to the evolution of the character, from a villain to a loving father. Carell's ability to capture Gru's quirks while adding emotional depth continues to be a major draw for fans. His on-screen chemistry with Kristen Wiig, who returns as Lucy Wilde, creates the perfect dynamic that has made their characters so endearing to viewers. Their familial bond not only drives the story but also provides a heartwarming backdrop against which the more comedic elements unfold. The Minions, always a central focus of the series, shine once again, bringing their signature antics and infectious energy to the screen. Pierre Coffin's voice work continues to elevate the Minions as characters that transcend language barriers, delighting audiences with their mischievous behaviors and lovable personalities. These small but mighty creatures continue to steal the spotlight with their hilarious moments, contributing to the film's universal appeal. The addition of new characters, particularly Bell Bottom, voiced by Taraji P. Henson, also adds an exciting layer to the film. Henson's portrayal of the stylish and charismatic villain is a breath of fresh air, injecting new energy into the film while maintaining the high standards of villainy that fans expect from the Despicable Me series. Bell Bottom's larger-than-life presence, combined with the perfect comedic tension between her and Gru, creates an unforgettable dynamic that keeps viewers engaged throughout the movie. Throughout the film, the animation and visual effects play a crucial role in bringing the world of Despicable Me 4 to life. The vibrant colors, dynamic action sequences, and detailed character designs all contribute to the film's immersive experience. The animation studio behind the film continues to push the boundaries of what's possible in animation, showcasing their commitment to crafting a visually stunning film that appeals to both children and adults alike. Whether it's the playful Minions or the sleek and stylish Bell Bottom, the animation's attention to detail ensures that every scene feels alive and full of personality. In terms of the plot, Despicable Me 4 is a well-paced and engaging story that weaves together elements of comedy, action, and heartfelt family moments. The film explores themes of personal growth, the challenges of parenthood, and the importance of family. Gru's evolution as a character, moving beyond his villainous roots and embracing his role as a father, is both poignant and relatable. As a viewer, it's easy to connect with Gru's struggles and triumphs, and the film does an excellent job of balancing these emotional beats with the humor that has become synonymous with the series. Another key aspect that sets Despicable Me 4 apart is its ability to stay true to the essence of the franchise while introducing new ideas and twists. While fans of the series will recognize the familiar tropes and beloved characters, the filmmakers have ensured that there's enough novelty and excitement to keep things fresh. The storyline keeps viewers on the edge of their seats, with unexpected twists and turns that add depth to the film's overall narrative. These twists not only surprise audiences but also provide further character development, particularly for Gru and his family. As we've seen in the detailed analysis of the film's production, the team behind Despicable Me 4 worked tirelessly to create a film that would not only entertain but also resonate with audiences. The production insights reveal just how much effort went into bringing the film to life, from the intricate animation techniques to the dedication of the voice cast and crew. The collaborative nature of the filmmaking process is evident in the final product, and it's clear that every person involved in the film played a key role in making Despicable Me for the success it is. Behind the scenes, the atmosphere on set was one of camaraderie and passion, with the cast and crew working together to create something truly special. From the voice actors to the animators, everyone was committed to ensuring that the film stayed true to the heart of the Despicable Me series while pushing the boundaries of animation and storytelling.